Hi, love bunnies. I hope you guys are all doing so well. Welcome back to Rework Wednesday. In today's episode, we are going to be recreating this beautiful brown espresso makeup look. If you'd like to see how this look came together, be sure to continue and keep on watching. Okay, love bugs. So today we are going to be doing this beautiful look. I think this look is absolutely gorgeous. And honey, you guys know I love a good smoky eye, number one. And two, I think that browns look so beautiful on me. And this was a softer version of a nice brown smoky eye look. So, because you know, when I have tape, we're starting with our eyes. I'm going to prime with one of my concealers. And actually, upon doing some research, if you will, because this is playing with browns, they would deem this as a espresso kind of look because it's brown. And you know, espresso is usually brown, coffee, all that extra jazz little number. But I don't care about the terminology about nothing. I just know that this look is absolutely gorgeous. And of course, is a reason for me to do brown, honey. So just with my concealer on my eyes, I am going to use that as my primer because you guys know, I know it's crazy. It's going on a few months, about to be a year soon, and I still haven't found a good primer. I know. Now, part of it is because a dash bit of being lazy of going to a store to getting a primer, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. A primer is not at like top priority of my list when it comes to makeup. So that's why I just work with what I have. But no, I'm definitely in need of a primer. And one of these days, I'm going to go and get one. One that I did used to use was from Urban Decay. I absolutely liked that primer. And then I also used to use the paint pot in the shade Ochre from MAC. So I used to use that when I actually used to wear makeup, when I used to be in Sephora. I am gonna go in with the Bare Necessities palette. So in my crease on my fluffy brushes, it's extremely fluffy. I am gonna go in with the shade All For You in Velveteen. That's gonna be in my crease. Now I'm using this brush because fluffy brushes usually blends out and diffuse a color, so that's what I really want to do. I don't think I'm gonna do nothing underneath the eyebrow just yet, but we're gonna see. Now we're gonna build this color up. I'm a little nervous because it looks as though it's a cool tone in her crease. Start towards the back and slowly build, because again, you never want to go in with too much product in case you had a lot on the brush because you're not able to take off, but you can always add. So we're going to start back at this V part area, have that build right there, and then we're going to sweep it underneath. I think I told you guys, when it comes to ColourPop, I realized that their shades really tends to be more on the cool tone as an undertone, and I don't like that. So it's kind of a deterrent for me from using their palettes a lot. Now, so we have that down as our base, and we're going to now start to add warmth back to it. Like I said, it's more cool tones. So I'm going to stick with my warm tone browns because I know it's definitely going to complement me a lot more. I am going to go in with on the same fluffy brush because I want this color to be diffused and not so intense. I want it to be more of a diffused shade. So I think I'm going to go in with the color Kufaru in the Warrior 2 palette. We're going to dab some. Just a tiny bit because these are very pigmented. So just a little bit, anything, we're going to build it up. Now, when it comes to your brushes, this is a very long handled brush. You want to keep your hand towards the back of the brush and use little circle motions or windshield wiper motions depending on what you're trying to go for, because you want the brush to do the work for you. If you have it too close and you're doing all this little extra craziness, you're not going to get the payoff that you're looking for, especially with a buffer brush or a blending brush like this. These kind of brushes, because of the bristles being so fluffy, this is more so going to diffuse the color for you. So that's why we start towards the back, because one, that's where you want most of the pigment to be. Just a good place to start. And then you're going to slowly just build it up, so you're not going to get any harsh lines. A little bit more warmth, we're going to go in with Tabloid and possibly just a tiniest bit of the shade. We did it, just the tiniest bit. I'm going that same place. We start towards the back, and this is more so now going to be in our crease area. So it's going to be right underneath where we put our lash shade. This is going to be focused in the crease. On a little eyeshadow tapered brush, I'm going to pick up that color all over it. I'm going to pack it on. Tap off a little bit of excess. So we're just going to pack that on. Because although this is a solid brown look, it is also not completely a darker brown on the lid. So now on a angled brush, this is most like a fluffy angle brush, more so a eyebrow brush. Now this angle brush is fluffier of bristles because this is more so for powders, because it is an eyebrow brush. Now it's looking as though she has a slight winged out smudge liner, so that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna go in with the shade Taboo. I don't want to use a black. I still want it to have a softness, because brown is more softer colors than black. So that's why I'm gonna go in with the color Taboo to do that liner. And if I want to add a little bit of depth, then I probably would go in with black just to deepen it a little bit more. So we're gonna take that color. Dust off any excess if you want. I want it to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to start from this little midpoint right here. I'm just going to drag it along that. I'm going to drag it along the tape. Now we're going to start to build. Slowly build. So now we are going to move on to our face. When we're done, we're going to swing back to do the bottom lash line. So we are going to move on and add our primer. So this is a new primer I've been trying out. This is from Maybelline, their Grippy Serum Primer. And I'd say it's cool. You know, the thing about this primer, just as the one that I use from Essence, it's a grippy primer. But with this is more so of a serum. So supposedly it's gonna help with hydration and act like a serum. You know, this is, I guess you would say it's like skincare as well as like your makeup that you're getting. But I don't know about the skincare part of it, but I will say it is very lightweight. It definitely does have a nice grip, just as the Essence primer. I will say that. Now we're gonna go in with foundation. As you guys know, I always mix, but I'm mixing my e.l.f. Soft Glam with a tiny bit of this new foundation I got, which is from Maybelline. Now I hear this is a really good primer. I hear this is a really good foundation. I don't have a full opinion on it just yet, because this shade is not 100% my shade. That's why I mix it with my e.l.f. So together they both work beautifully to me. They blend out really nicely and they play well together to me when I have worn them, and I do like how they dry down, I will say that. But I'm probably gonna have to get a shade up from this so I can actually try it on its own. So now I'm just gonna buff this into the skin. Like I said, we're gonna apply it with the brush, but also I'm gonna go over it with my sponge. So this is where we are with our foundation. Let this dry down for 2.5 seconds. So now we are gonna do our concealer, because she looked really bright and highlighted. And you know me, I just like an excuse to use a lot of concealer. Now one day I might change my method, one day, but this is what I like, okay? Then we're going to highlight under the eye. We're going to look up, blend it out. And with our damp beauty blender, we are going to buff out the edges to show it gives a seamless blend. So now we are going to do some bronzing. Go in with my Milani cream bronzer first on my e.l.f. brush. And of course, bronze up the forehead and the cheek area. She looks really, really bronzed. And you know I love a bronze look, honey. Then now we are going to set under our eyeballs, but I'm going to utilize both my Fit Me setting powder as well as a little bit of my Coty Airspun powder. I did a look the other day. It's my TikTok. Go follow my TikTok. And I used that little combo together and I actually liked how they came out. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of my pink powder, just again to add a little bit more brightness. And you guys know this is from Wet n Wild. I'm gonna dab that right on top, just a very light layer, because we're gonna press this in with our brush. With our fluffy brush, I'm gonna dab that in. I'm gonna press that in. Now so we are gonna go in with our powder bronzer. Well, our powder bronzer from L'Oreal. This is a matte one. Then right on top of that, we're gonna go in with our Milani. So on our fluffy brush, gonna take some, tap all over, take off excess if you want in your hand. The same way we place our cream bronzer, we're gonna place the powder bronzer. To add a little bit more depth, we're gonna go in with, I'm using my angled brush, and we're gonna use the Baked bronzer from Milani, because this is a little bit warmer, so that's gonna add the depth that I want. A little bit more pigment as well. I place it right on top. Keep that back towards here because it's darker, so I'm gonna keep it back here. So that really scopes it a little bit more. Now, she didn't look like she had too much blush on, but I want to add a little bit of blush to round this look out. So I'm going to go in with my Milani Baked Blush in the color Rose Dior. This is like an orange shade with some reflux, as well as the Morphe Cheek Thrills and After Party. Now, this is a trio. This has your creams. These are two creams, and that's the powder. I'm going to go a little bit with the powder because I like the depth of that. So we're going to build that together pretty much. So on a fluffy brush, so it could be kind of diffused, I'm going to go in with this one first. And then the other one. And then we're just going to tap off any excess so it could be a nice build. So I'm going to actually put a lot, but then dust off a good amount in my hand just so it also could be even, right? You guys know me. I place it right within the middle area here because we're going to now have it towards the apples of our cheeks. So this little midpoint right here is going to be the gradation from the blush to our contour. So it just looks like it's smooth, a nice gradation. And then apples of my cheeks. This is where I do my blush placement. And no, I don't do all that craziness, but this is where I place my blush and then just build it up a little bit. Because again, she wasn't really blush heavy, but I just wanted to add a little bit something to my cheeks. Then we're going to do some highlight. She didn't do too much on the cheek area, but I really like a highlighted look. So I'm going to do it. And we are going to utilize... This broke. Highly upset. I don't have time. But we're going to go in with a little bit of our baked bronzer from... Our baked highlighter from Milani. And another one from Wet n Wild. Highest point. I'm just going to place it right here. Just a little bit. Because like I said, it wasn't too much that she had. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit. So say if I was to like go outside and the sun hit, you see a nice little gold reflux. Now we are gonna set our face all over, and I got this product. I'm still trying to test it out to see if I really like it or not, because I really don't know. But this is a finishing powder from CoverGirl. This is a illuminating baked finishing powder. I'm still trying to see if there's like a wow factor. I don't really know, but we're gonna add this everywhere on the face. So this is where we are right now. I'm gonna go off into my brows, my lashes, and come back, and we're gonna do our bottom lash line and our lip combo. Okay, loves. So now we are gonna do our bottom lash line, and on a fluffy brush, we're gonna go in with a mixture of You Did It and Kafuru. No. We're going to go in with the color Velveteen on that brush. And a dash of Hot Gossip, which is our lid color. But I mixed it just so it could soften it up a bit. But we're also going to smudge it the tiniest bit right underneath, like right where the hairs are like starting to come out. We're gonna line it there too. Now on our smudge brush, we are gonna go in with Kufaru, and we're gonna smudge that as close to the lash line as possible, just to pretty much lock that color in that we just placed, and put it on the waterline if you're able to. To top it off on a small brush, we are going to add a little bit of shimmer in our tear ducts as she has it. So we're going to go back in with our two, we're going to go back in with our two highlight colors that we used down our nose. And we're just going to place that right in the corner. Now it's on to our lips. We are going to go in with, I was going to mix them, but I'm going to go with my number 7 pencil. That's my tried and true. And we're going to fill our whole lips in that. We're going to fill our entire lips with this today. And then I realized I need to get some more nude, or I need to actually get some nude brownie lipsticks I don't really have. But I'm gonna use a tiny bit of this. I'm gonna use a little bit of this lipstick that I got from Amazon and Ulak, just the tiniest bit in the middle, and at the top I'm gonna dab it, and I'm gonna use my finger and just dab it, because I don't want this to be the main focus, but I do want a little bit of lightness. And a good base for our gloss. But still a little bit of a light color to peek through underneath. Now say I need more nude, because this is a nude, but it pulls really cool tone and it pulls really pink. I need nudes that pulls like more on the warm side. So I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place, the coffee shop, in the color Cookie Butter. We're going to put a little bit. Because you want to build this. So you're going to do layers. So we're going to go in with, you know, my tried and true Ruby Kisses White Lie. Just a tiny bit. So I'm going to dab up there, and at the top of it, right? And this is where we are, love bugs. Our final look, a little espresso or coffee inspired look. How did I do? Do you like? Do you love? Well, as per usual, as I always say, anytime I sit down to do a rework Wednesday, I absolutely love it, because it kind of gets me out of my comfort zone, but also allows me to, as always, test my skills, and always choosing to sharpen my skills each and every single time. And again, is never to exactly recreate it, but it's just my rendition of it, and again, how it suits me, how it suits my skin tone, my undertones, and all that extra jazz. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed doing this look, and I thank God my eyes cooperated today. Thank you guys so much for taking a part of your day and just to share it with little old me. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, All those actions truly matter for my channel, for it to grow, and we're still growing. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also, I am on TikTok, so make sure you go and follow my TikTok, which is the same as my Instagram and this YouTube page at linabeautyhaus. If you guys have any looks that you want me to recreate, just send them over to me and I definitely will recreate them for you. Thank you guys for always being loyal and growing with me and staying with me. I greatly appreciate it. As I always say, the true foundation of beauty starts from within. Makeup is just the cherry on top. I thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you and love you until next time. Mwah.